Welcome back to another episode of AK-47 Radio, bringing you the best and worst of the motherland, including guns, breadlines, questionable potted meats, and vodka. As usual, sometimes as always, we have Comrade Commissar Will. The General Cosmonaut Mikhail Gonsalves is running a little bit behind, and I am the humble janitor, Sam Alexander. And tonight we have lots of gripes. Not grapes, gripes.
No grapes. They don't grow well in Siberia.
No, they don't. Fun fact.
They're not a grape crop there.
Y'all heard of Socrates, right?
Socrates, he's my boy.
Where do you reckon the wheat that was used to grind, that was ground up, so when Socrates ate bread, where do you think the wheat for that bread came from, primarily?
I always assumed it was just grown in Italy, but I've also been to Italy and it's rocky as fuck, so also probably
so
not.
Socrates was from Athens, that's in Greece.
So I stand by my statement.
Actually, it'd be modern day Ukraine.
Would make sense. The same wheat fields that Stalin starved the fuck out of in the 30s.
Yep, same area, brought down across the Black Sea through the Dardanelles.
Huh.
Anyway, fun fact.
That is a fun fact, actually.
There's one that surprised me
shows
when I
all about
learned it
those.
years ago, because you assume ancient world, like, oh, they must have just pulled their crap from locally, but no, a lot of the grain that fed, especially Athens, came down from.
That is a fact of all time.
Yeah, it's a much better fact than he's used to spitting out, and we're used to hearing.
Grain. Oh, we did talk about breadlines, though. So grain and chronoplons.
Did they chronoplan them?
God damn it.
So how you guys doing tonight?
I am absolutely fucking exhausted. As you guys know, my sleep schedule has been completely non-existent lately, but I forced myself to stay up. I am here on time this time.
You might fall asleep.
I cannot guarantee that I will not fall asleep pretty much as soon as the stream ends, but
so we hear a loud bang. It's not a desk pop. It's your head hitting the desk. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, speaking of desk pops. So
wait a minute.
I had a experience.
Oh no.
I already told you guys about this.
I know. I saved my quip about it for tonight.
Perfect. So I found a Dr. Pepper can in the very back of my fridge that had frozen and expanded like crazy.
Oh,
like it was a super outie on the top, but it did not explode. And I pulled it out and I was like, I'm trying to clean the fridge out, save some space for more stuff to go in, whatever. I put this bitch in, like, down in my kitchen sink because I figured it would explode a little bit and I wanted all of that captured. And my head was right over the sink. And when it went off, I'm not fucking kidding you. I have shot guns without ear pro before, and I swear to God, it sounded just like a 9mm going off. Like I legitimately sat there for an hour or so waiting for the cops to show up because I figured my neighbors were going to call the cops because it sounded exactly like a 9mm going off. I even kept the can, like I didn't, because it was part of it was still frozen anyway. I literally just like stuck the can on the counter so if the cops showed up, I could be like, no, was frozen can. See, is bulgy.
They're gonna like, bullshit, arrest him.
Probably, but God, that shit, that got my tinnitus going, and it took over an hour for me to stop doing the twitchy thing.
Well, directly that close to it, it may have been that loud. It may have been like 150 decibels or so.
It was legitimately more than 140 for sure.
But I see it conceivable because when gas escapes at when gas under high pressure escapes rapidly, it makes a
Almost
loud
like a
noise.
gunshot.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm a little bit of an idiot, but you either normally they don't freeze or they freeze and explode before you get to them. And I just kind of got to it in between phases, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Could have turned out worse, though.
So
Dr. Pepper tried to NKVD your ass.
when I was 15, my dad took us to Europe, and in this Europe trip, we went to outside of Porto, Portugal, to a vineyard that my grandfather was actually born on. And as we're touring this vineyard, we see these big vats that they don't do the foot stompy anymore, but they used to do the foot stompy and the big vats. We got to see those. Got to see got to see all the graves, got to see the house that he was born in and grew up in, which was really cool. How is this related, you might ask? So the wine that this vineyard produced was carbonated red wine. It was fantastic. I have yet to meet its equal. And as such,
in
my
the world of
dad,
wine, that's not hard to accomplish.
shut up. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad wine out there. Let's just be clear. But this was a really, really good carbonated red. And as such, my dad wanted to bring a dozen or more bottles back with us. It was never a like sold in grocery stores brand of wine. It was kind of like sold to the local town, and that was about it. But
I mean, that's cool.
So here, getting to the point of how we got here, 3 of those bottles exploded in the carry-on in flight.
Yeah.
Another one, I remember we were just sitting watching a movie and we heard what sounded like a gunshot in the house, a pow, and that's fair, Dooley. The whole family looked at each other and like, what the hell? What just happened? And then we hear this dripping. So we go into the kitchen and we find that another one of these carbonated red wine bottles has exploded in the kitchen on top of the fridge. And it sounded very, very much like a gunshot. Like,
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. It sounded like a 9mm. I'm just glad we weren't anywhere near the bottles when they went off because shrapnel.
Yeah.
It wasn't corks popping. It was bottles blowing.
I sent you guys a picture. The little tabby that goes down inside the can when you pull the tab on top was blown outward from the can. Another reason I kept it in case the cops showed up, because the pressure pushed it, like exploded that part out.
Damn.
But anyway.
Well, I'm glad you're still alive.
Opinions vary on that, but
I could tell you all my exploding glass story, but I'd rather talk about guns right now.
I like exploding guns.
Which gun should we talk about?
Well, do we want to cover advancing the party's interest, which I know what you want to talk about falls into that category.
I have an advancing the party's interest that came from something else.
You know, I could advance the party's interest right now if we went out and found the spam call center that's calling me right now, and we AKVD'd their asses.
I get many of those a day.
What if they're in New Delhi though?
Okay.
Where you want to go all the way to New Delhi to?
I have lots of new money here to which we can pay our way. Oh yeah,
you're rich, bitch.
I'm totally rich. We'll talk about that later, matey.
Well, you both sound very excited to talk about your advancing the party, and I have many advancing the parties for this week. So,
Well,
one of you go first.
so I believe Mike has something that's gear wise, right?
I do.
I have something. I also have gear stuff that's separate from something else, and then I believe everybody has gear stuff. So I'll go.
Indeed.
I'll go experiential first. On Saturday, went to the range with a buddy who has not shot AKs a whole bunch, so we did shoot mine. He was very impressed at how little that 101 behind me recoils. But no, we just went out, ran some drills.
What kind of drills?
A lot of movement drills because we both
Okay.
like movement drills in terms of, you start off handgun, one round out of the holster, boom, back in, out of the holster, boom. Then go up to Mozambiques, and then target transitions. We did some of those. And then including them, so movement drills fall under two kind of categories for me. One of them being you start, you line up your targets left to right, you start on the left-hand side or right-hand side, and then you move laterally or at some kind of angle through them, shooting as you go, practicing keeping that, trying to keep your movement smooth and shooting kind of on that lull between steps. And then also mixing that with like, hey, let's freaking sprint up, shoot targets, do a loop, sprint back, hit the dirt, shoot targets again. We had my little mini IPSC steel target out at 80 yards, which was fun. It is also I don't know, mini. Is it an IPSC target? USA? Are they the same? Whatever. The little mini silhouettes. It's basically like almost basically the size of an A zone on a USPSA target.
So kind of like the one that I brought out when we went shooting, Mike.
Like a mini one?
Yeah, it's a mini target one way or the other. That is a terrible target to try and like zero guns at 80 yards, or at least try and see how they're shooting at 80 yards because you don't have a lot of. What was I shooting out there? We were shooting something. Oh, I was shooting my USP-45 at it. And the target keeps moving, but there's no clang. Target moves, no clang. But it turns out I was hitting the 2x4 directly underneath it. Like, God, it's not. You could see it moving. Did you see it move? I saw it move. Oh, we must just be barely hitting the edge of it. Oh no, it hitting underneath. But we did some barricade work because I brought out both my barricades. No, just a good general. Spent probably as much time bullshitted as we did shooting. I did with the PSA AK-101. We have thresholded just about 1,000 rounds on it now. Technically, like 957. So I guess it could explode in the next 43 rounds. But checked headspace on it again. Good to go. So far. But no, that was good. Good range time with a buddy. It's weird going to the range with someone who's like 10 years younger than you. Because you start talking about stuff. It's interesting gathering different people's experiences.
Will has so much to say on this.
Different experiences post 9/11, especially when you weren't alive for 9/11.
That's fair.
Indubitably. I will leave that one alone because that hurts my soul to think about.
I get what it's like to go to the range with someone 10 years younger than you because I've gone to the range with Sam repeatedly.
That's what Dooley said.
Oh, you've gone to the range with me, old man.
The good news is he may be 10 years younger, but he's a very well-balanced 10 years younger. So it's like, okay, good.
Yeah.
I've unfortunately
he's got a decent head on his shoulders.
Yeah. I've gone shooting with some guys who are younger where it's like, oh God, are you good? Remember, Mike, when we were doing those range days and that one guy shows up and decides to start blind firing at the berm?
Yep.
And we just watched the impacts crawl their way up the berm. Like, stop.
Stop that. Stop now, please. Stop that.
Played around, also Midwest side rail, took it off, put it on, took it off, put it on, took it off, put it on. Never lost zero. So what did I do when I got home yesterday? I changed out my whole optic stack, but we'll switch over to somebody else for now.
You want to go, Mike, or you want me to go? My name's Will, not Well.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was well.
Come on, Will, let's go.
Actually, you guys don't know what my name is, and that's just how I like it. But anyway.
Bob.
I
Your
mean-
name is Bob.
All right. Dave.
No, I'm not cool enough to be Bob.
See you next Tuesday.
I was
that-
Vince. Hey, you are what you eat.
Oh, that was such a mic
That's why you're
response.
such a
I don't
cock.
respect it.
Anyway, moving on.
Mm.
Hang on. So,
Okay, well, if we're hanging on,
no, I'm good. I just had to move my mic, and I was going to mute, and then I didn't because fuck it. So I has a present. That's not how that was supposed to get revealed.
Yeah, that was not how that was supposed to be.
There we go. So we talked about the Mediator XL from Gideon Optics last week in Let's Go Hunt, and lo and behold, one of them magically arrived on my doorstep from the Optics Fairy.
oh, I want this Optics Fairy magic.
We'll have to give Bobbert some really good blowjobs.
Yeah, it's all you, buddy.
I mean, it's worked so far.
Yeah, luckily he has low standards.
He does. He loves us. I don't know why, but he loves all of the shows on FRN. Like I Gideon's just such a cool goddamn company. You know what I mean? They're always coming out with new shit.
Sorry, real quick. We will discuss this later, duels. Much later, because money.
Stargut Lerp.
Stargot LARP.
Gut.
Right, so Gideon's such a dope company. Like they are always coming out with new stuff. The newest of which is the Mediator XL, which is basically, if you're unfamiliar with Gideon Optics or the Mediator is an enclosed emitter pistol dot on an acro mount, I believe, and the Mediator 2 is a slightly bigger windowed version of that with the battery on top, which is really cool. The Mediator XL is an EOTech XPS sized optic meant for rifles and PCCs and stuff like that. So I literally just pulled it out. The last time I touched one of these was at GunCon in
You mean it's been sitting in the box for 2 days and you didn't even lick it?
No, I didn't lick it because I wanted
You
to
are unworthy.
I wanted to look at it on the show. I may be unworthy, but bite me.
I'm still stuck on the fact that it's EOTech, but not dog shit.
What?
No, don't get him started on EOTech. Just pull it out of the box.
I hate EOTech. Yes, continue,
said.
please.
So here we are. It is yay big.
Which end is front? Oh, that end. Okay.
This end is front. It has the nice kill flash that they have, or flash. I don't know what they call it. Whatever.
Hey, AR-15
Yeah.
podcast, Dooley in the chat. Have you tried your Mediator XL on any of the night vision settings yet?
Have I?
No, I asked Dooley in the chat.
Oh, I was like, I just pulled it out of the box. Of course not.
Also, you don't have face noodles.
That's true. I don't have face noodles.
Poor.
Okay, so just turned it on. It reminds me of an EOTech, but it's
Better.
Yeah, kind of. Like
What did I say? What did I say?
The one thing, again,
It's like I'm never wrong.
he's gonna AR-15 podcast is gonna try it in his dark room. There's a time and place where a man said a dark room that he was a photographer, and now it just means he shuts the lights off. My dad had a dark room. I can still hear the fucking camera going, and because it was a print shop dark room, and smell all those wonderful chemicals.
Hey, you know what? Dark rooms always have something to do with optics. Sometimes it's camera stuff, sometimes it's nod stuff, sometimes it's light stuff.
He's not
the
wrong.
Mediator XL is supposed to have, I think it's only 2 night vision settings, which is kind of sad. As much as you hate EOTech for passive aiming with night vision, it's really hard. I mean, I don't know an EOTech. EOTech takes the cake with passive aiming with night vision because the standard model has like 4 settings, I believe. Although they're newer, no, more than that. The new one they came out with that looks like the Temu EOTech has 4. But They have all the
point-
other. They have all the other EOTech downsides too.
My aim point has like 4, but I can turn it on max brightness and not have to replace the battery for a couple of years. Come back to me when an EOTech can last more than one fucking range trip.
I don't disagree.
So initial thoughts. The settings, I like how crisp the we'll call it the circle dot. At the lowest settings, there's a vast difference between like the third lowest setting and the second lowest setting. I wish there was like a setting in between, but it's fine. So the reason I didn't look at it until now is because I literally had planned on putting it on top of AK. At least for a while to see how it goes on AK, and then it may end up on PCC. I don't know, but we need to take it up to the place where all the meth heads go to shoot and see how it goes, or the other place.
Tracks in Colorado. You don't have
Yeah.
to keep it a secret. It is a public range after all.
I was going to call it Tweaker Tracks.
I like Tweakers better. It's more applicable.
It really is. I like the armor. It's got a nice little if you can look at it it's got this
EOTech
housing over it to help shield it.
Big time fucked up with that new one they built, because what made EOTechs also be very bomb proof is having that extra freaking shield around the outside. And then some idiot EOTech went, "Oh, we don't need that anymore."
And then they started breaking.
I don't know if they started breaking because it's a brand new model. They just announced it.
Yeah.
It just looks like TeamU EOTech. It doesn't look like an EOTech.
It looks like Sightmark and EOTech had a baby.
Yeah, like the Sightmark, the one that's like backwards EOTech, if you took it and turned it around again. Yeah.
Like EOTech we have at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
is EOTech and is $1,000.
That's true. That also went up in price compared to every other fucking EOTech they make. Anyway.
Yeah, the EOTechs, that the two XPS2s that I have, I paid like $450 or $550. I don't remember at the time. Something like that in 2012. So 2012 prices were acceptable. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fair. I bought my Aimpoint Comp M4 in 2010 for $750. But that bitch is still going strong. And I would take that over an EOTech any day of the week.
ARF podcast says the IR reflection is a little intense in a small room, but works great. IR reflection, small room. Yeah, that's gonna happen with fucking anything though.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want. I want big mailbox of doom for the PSA 101. But everything, when you buy night vision, everything in your life starts revolving around night vision. So suddenly not caring about like, oh, it has MVG settings. I don't care. I'll never use those. Well, suddenly like, oh, I could use those now.
That's partly why I don't have noodles yet.
I have okay. Disclaimer. You both know I don't own nods, so I don't get to speak as an expert on this subject. However, I don't like the idea of setting something on a setting that I'm using, and then all of a sudden, if lighting conditions change and I have to yank nods off because reasons, I can't see the dot anymore. I want to set it to what I'm going to use it at in bright ass, normal, clear sky, sunny light. Fucking leave it there. I don't want to be pushing buttons.
So but it depends. Well, I would say it depends on what you want to do. The main benefit I have for my use case on passive aiming is mostly as a backup, but also as if we were to get LARPy and nerdy, as a way to aim without putting out light emission for if certain SRA individuals need to be schwacked. Otherwise, Dooley's right. Lasers are the way. I know guys who are buying the cheapest IR lasers they can get out of China because they don't care if the laser holds zero. They only want the illuminator because passive aiming is how they want to do everything. To me, that's a little bonkers, but you know. Speaking of lasers,
laser.
The last hour of my life was consumed with trying to mount IR lasers. So, we'll start with the little guy first. The old PSA Quinkov. This is currently sporting at the 3 o'clock position my technically I don't even remember who the hell makes this. It's US Night Vision that sells it, but it's the DIR, not the DIR-V, but it's a V-cell illuminator and a civilian legal laser. And it's a great little freaking laser box. It's also super low profile. YouTube's gonna hate me pointing this camera, but in terms of like,
I'm doing this, so it's not like.
In terms of low profile, look down my muzzle.
Those are pretty sick in terms of how low they sit.
Super
I like that.
low. Like even, yeah, it's super low. Doesn't stick up in your vision. The button's also very accessible on the rear. I like this laser, minus the fact that I got to send it in for a warranty still because I may have stripped out the screw. Anyway, that's not the point here though. So I wanted to mount that to the PSA 101. Which I also, hang on, don't grab the wrong gun off the wall. Which I also put the Texas Weapons Systems dust cover optic rail back on just to start testing how well it actually does hold zero. Because I admittedly didn't give it its full due when I first got it. So I went to throw that, which I've got the top rail right now covered in other shit, on this rifle though, and it won't fucking seat on the Picatinny. And I can't figure out why. Well, then I regularly realized so that the Midwest rail has basically two slotted, basically it's broken up into two sections so that it has room to clear the upper handguard retaining plate on the AK to get that rail as low down to the gas tube as possible so it's not sticking up any higher. Oh, okay, that's what I realized. I just have to get it, perfectly centered in one of those grooves. I get it perfectly centered in one of those grooves and it still is not bolting to the gun. And I'm getting mad at it. So then I'm just screwing because I don't want to put it on M-lock on the sides. Because I don't want I want it direct mount, not additional layers of contact of different screws that can come out.
This is fair.
Well, eventually, I finally figured it out. It's because that DIR laser is made to be so low profile. And it's made specifically for like the top rail on an AR. So it doesn't fit the contour of this Midwest handguard. It just barely hits it and it causes the whole thing to turn sideways, which is really annoying because I really wanted that laser on this gun.
I have an Enforce light that will mount to normal AR pick rail stuff. But if I put it on an M-lock pick rail section on my Keltec Sub 2000, and it's a Magpul brand M-lock section. It's not some aftermarket shit.
Yep.
I can just grab it and yoink it off when I've tightened it down.
Yeah. Which is again why I don't want to attach something that needs to remain zeroed to an M-lock rail.
Yeah.
So that was a little annoying. It's hanging out on the 3 o'clock position on the 74 issue right now. I put my Holosun laser back on the 101 issue though. With this is a absolute co-witness mount on my aim point, which means because the Texas West, which it wasn't an issue with the Midwest side rail, the Texas weapon system sits slightly lower, which means the top adjustment knob on this Holosun LS 117 laser is now obstructing too much of my field of view, and it's really annoying.
I can see a bigger issue.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is that?
The ledge that is protecting the constant on button for your Streamlight flashlight is going to possibly inhibit lasers, but absolutely give you a huge shadow on your IR illuminator because you mounted them in the wrong order.
This has no IR illuminator.
Ah,
It is laser only, and it will clear the top of that because I've done this before.
I retract my statement.
Yeah. I do have the laser mounted slightly more rearward than normal just to pull some of the weight back towards the center line. But so whatever. I threw my Streamlight freaking ProTac or whatever down at like I don't know, what is that, 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock
Sure.
or so. Cable management is an absolute nightmare right now. We're gonna have to get that figured out.
Niet.
That's
Cables are fine.
It looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss book in terms of where cables are just twisted all around in different places. But
you should definitely do something about that. The way you like to walk through bushes and stuff. Like,
oh, I'm gonna have to. It's amazing how long these two freaking cables are. But yeah, whatever.
That's why I like the cloud defensive light that I have on my go-to AR, because the switch has built-in cable management, and so I have very little exposed cable.
It does, but again, my cloud defensive decided to shit the bed on me, so
Yeah, valid.
it's no longer a friend.
Well, for this week, unless you had, or either of you had other things you wanted to discuss.
well,
Whoa.
Oh, holy hide over bore Batman.
yeah, it is quite high over bore, and I am in fact thinking that so hide over bore with optics. I've been playing with optics on AKs for the last couple of years, and I by no means consider myself an expert. That's Sam's job, but I've noticed that the higher over bore with an AK you get with your sight,
Well,
then
yeah, the
you
more chin
start
weld you
your
gotta do.
yeah, you end up more like with chin bone weld, like
Yeah, you have like your chin on top of the stock. It does not help that whatever side rail you have is like a half-inch taller than it needs to be.
You go from 4 points of contact on a long gun to 3 points of contact.
basically, yeah. I do have on my PCC, I do have a Swamp Fox something, Justice, I think, one the big windowed pistol optic of theirs. I have one of those on there. I could probably put on the AK flat without the riser, and then this on top of the PCC, and I bet this would be perfect hide overboard for the PCC.
Well, yeah, it's probably set to like oh fuck, I don't remember my exact decimal points when it comes to AR mounts, but it's probably roughly like a lower third co-witness on an AR.
Yeah.
See that when you say stuff like that, that's literally whoosh over my head. Kind of like this.
Oh, so if you were to put iron sight, so co-witness is of course with iron sights. So absolute co-witness on optic, you're looking straight down the middle of a red dot. Lower third is if you can still look through your iron sights in a red dot, but you're going to only see them at the bottom third of the optic. And then they have, is it like a 193 mount that's like super fucking tall?
And then there's like a 2 something as well.
Something you're getting into, should have just gotten an A2 or an A1 or A2 upper and thrown a rail on top height.
Yeah.
So Duels said his is on a PCC, and actually I was listening to them today, and that's what gave me the idea to put it on the PCC, because I really don't like the way my optic setup looks on that thing. But how cool would it be to show up to Zombies on the Heartland with a futuristic looking mailbox on top of my rifle instead of like an EOTech or any of that shit? You know what I mean?
It's great until you have a 4-inch height over bore on that AK and you can't hit shit because your offsets are ridiculous.
No, you are not listening, Middle. I was saying, I think the Swamp Fox Justice on the PCC will serve this rifle much better, and the
sorry,
Mediator
3-inch
XL.
height over bore, because AK already tall height over bore, and then that I'm agree with youngest here. That mount you have is ridiculously tall by itself.
I never really noticed. It's just I don't even remember where I got it. It's been so long that I've had this mount.
That's like the height over bore on the Gideon Granite that I have mounted to the Krinkov. That's a little intense. It's workable, and I actually I ran a fair amount of drills with this guy too while we were out there because he had his little 300 blackout out. So we're like, oh, we're gonna do him with short guns, and then we would do it with short guns, but with the braces folded. So just like hold it out there in the first round. Except for what kind of brace did he have? I don't remember what kind of brace he had. We couldn't get the damn thing to unlock to fold. And it's the same 1913 rail adapter that I have on this. I'm like, well, you should just pull up on it and unlock. So pulled up on it and unlocks. Oh, so yeah. So I lock it again and hand it to him, and he can't unlock it. I'm thinking, okay, what the hell? Give it to me again. And then I can't get it to unlock. So for the rest of the day, we could not get his brace to unlock until the very end of the day. Just randomly, it popped right open. It's like, all right,
needs WD-40.
that thing's cursed. Moving on.
So, Dooley in the chat says it's set up to be the same height as an EOTech, the Mediator XL. That makes a lot of sense. And EOTechs work really, really well on flat top M4s. So since my PCC is basically a flat top, then yeah, I guess he's saying it'll work really, really well on that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Russians are running it around like the Alpha teams, and then SVR's Zaslon is running around with the EOTechs and AKs all the time. They're not using that tall of a mount to begin with, though, and then that's where a lot of stocks that have cheek risers come into play. So you can get a cheek weld even though your height over bore is approximately the same length as a donkey dick.
But that's
what
also
a wonderful visual.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I did actually many things this week. None of them involved necessarily playing with or training with guns, but I did a bunch of gear shit. So as the viewers will know, as if they've watched me, I am a bit of a nicotine fiend. I have a addiction.
Yeah, he pops his in about every 5 seconds.
Well, they only last.
He never spits
5
them
seconds. Out. Yeah, I do.
He just compacts them and his lower.
I figured he was swallowing them, or they were just slowly replacing the rest of his body mass.
No, you just don't pay attention, because when we were at the range, I went through quite a few of them, and I was spitting them out all the time. But anyway,
I see plenty of them goes in, none of them goes out.
So anyway, because I have the I guess requirement to collect, or not collect, but to have many dip cans, I decided I was going to do something useful with them. I found out at some point in my life that scraping the paint off of the lid of a dip can was actually very cathartic for me. It's like cleaning guns or working on cars, or like the things you do with your hands to tell your brain to shut the fuck up for a little bit. That's what that is for me. And so I decided to make these little emergency pocket fire starting kits with dip cans. You can use Altoid cans too. But you scrape the paint off of the inside and the outside of the can. You polish it up so it's reflective. It's not like mirror reflective, but you could use it as a makeshift signal mirror if you had to.
We could polish that thing to be mirror.
Without a whole lot of effort. For whatever reason, I have tried using a Dremel wheel with polishing compound, and for whatever reason, that shit does not like. They don't like each other. So I used 5,000 grit sandpaper, polished it up pretty good inside and out. I put a little striker wheel, Flint striker wheel on the inside. You can get 5 of them from Amazon for like $15. Put it in a little baggie, a little drug baggie. I put some Vaseline soaked.
Cop pulls out your Altoids can, opens it up. There's a little baggie inside. Oh, I know what this is. Starts unfolding it, pulls stuff. Oh, gets real disappointed.
Exactly. I put a bunch of Vaseline soaked cotton balls in another little drug baggie to try to keep the Vaseline from getting everywhere, which is essentially futile when you do this. And then put a couple of strips of Gorilla Tape around the outside. So you have tape, one, because duct tape is really good for starting fires, and two, duct tape is good for a lot of shit. So just a little
flammable.
Yeah, it's amazing as a fire starter, actually.
I did not know this.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little
You know
throw
what
it in
else
your.
is really,
Huh?
you know what else is really, really strangely flammable? Cheez-Its.
That I also did not know.
Yeah, anyway, moving on.
Interesting.
Huh, I'm gonna have to try that now.
The things you find out when you're a kid and you have a lighter.
Valid. But yeah, I made a few for friends, one for myself. Throw it in a pocket, throw it in a GP pouch or a backpack or something. It's not meant for like your go-to fire starting, but if you're gonna die of hypothermia or you need to melt some snow because you're gonna die of dehydration or something, it's a good fire starter.
How much more room do you have in there? Is it like packed full, or could you fit like another little dime bag in?
The way that I have it set up, it's pretty much packed full, but I kind of
The other thing I thought about that you could throw in there, but it might be a case of like overpacking in a sense. So for a lot of my canteens out doing stuff in the mountains, I'll get the same little dime bags, but I'll throw the aqua tabs come in 2-packs and throw one of those little 2-packs in a baggie, and then I'll tape it to the outside of the canteen.
Yeah.
Maybe stuff one in there, but then again, it might be becoming a case of like,
it's
I can't
too
think of
much
the
at that
term.
point.
Yeah, I can't think of the right term for it, but yeah.
I tried to prioritize fire starting over everything else with these versus making it a dip can size all-in-one survival kit. But you could tape a little baggie with those aqua tabs on the bottom so that you've got that attached as well. But I was also trying to think of something pocketable.
Yep. Fair enough. I was just curious.
So, I mean,
it was more if it's like, oh yeah, the can's like half full type of thing.
No, it's completely packed out. I mean, it's a trade-off. Do I want more Vaseline soaked cotton balls for fire starters, or do I want less of that but more of something else? You could use an Altoid can. Again, you'll have a little more room if you do that. But yeah, it's kind of a choose your own adventure thing if you're going to build these out yourself. I bought some surplus gear from a buddy that came in to include Das new helmet.
Braden bucket.
Yeah, and some other stuff. I spray painted some surplus gear that I had laying around, which I'm very excited about. It looks like dog shit right now. I gotta go back, but as my second favorite Air Force pop culture star in the world used to say, we don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. So I have to go unfuck some of my happy accidents.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I bought a taps rig from the surplus store, which is cool. Yeah, I've been working on setting it up. It's on Bob right now, but I got to figure out how I want to finally set it up. I got a pilot's flask. It's bigger than your normal like stainless steel hip flask that you would carry booze around in. But
yeah, because pilots needed to drink way more than you did.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all need to drink way more than we do, but that's beside the point. These are like $4, and it's basically a canteen, but instead of a canteen, it's a flask. I mean, the military got this one right. That's based.
Now, let me flask you a question.
God damn it. No.
How much can you fit into it?
I haven't measured, but I would say I've got a few 8-ounce flasks. I could probably, it's a pint, I believe. So I think it's 16 ounces. I think I could fit 2 of your standard, like stereotypical metal flasks worth of booze in this.
Because it kind of looks to me like you could get
It is
like
1 pint.
3.
I mean, here is flask.
It is
Here
1 pint.
is canteen.
It comes in pints.
I'm getting one. I just my daughter was
1
home
quart
sick last week,
canteen.
and I made her watch that for the first time, and she was like, "I don't get this movie."
Mm.
So-
It'll happen.
Canteen's 1 quart. Is it plastic?
It's literally the same material as a canteen.
Nice. That's actually really cool.
I mean, it doesn't have a gas mask valve, but you know.
Which it fucking should. Because if you're gonna go out to nerve gas, may as well go out wasted.
Yes.
I don't
I
think they're
agree.
wearing many gas masks in the cockpit. Just saying.
I mean,
they
are
actually
wearing
exist.
them,
They have air crew gas masks for Seaburn.
They do. They can. They're literally rated to come walking out to the jet wearing those masks. I don't know what they're plugged into to prevent them from like dying, but they can wear the mask.
It's fine. They only need to accomplish the mission. They don't need to come back.
Survive long enough to finish the mission.
Yeah. And I signed up for goals. Very excited about that.
Life goals.
Or GOA goals.
Life goals.
I don't have life goals. My life goals are to just not cease to exist.
You said that in such a depressing manner. Like,
I'm
I realized
stubborn.
you weren't. Well, I don't know whether to tell you to stop being stubborn and just die, or
I love it.
you know,
Mike's advice. Mike's advice. You know what? You're not worth it. Just go ahead and do everyone a favor. Just get it over with.
You should really stop struggling and just die now.
Just as the Instagram dude, the army guy says, love, laugh, toaster bath. Or live, laugh. I don't know. Whatever. But toaster bath is the important ending.
Yes.
And that's a really good way to tell someone to off themselves too. Like, if you're just like, I've had it with this person, like, I'm leaving, I'm walking away, like, you know what, go take a toaster bath and just turn around.
It's true. And use a basic white bitch fucking house sign saying and modify it to say it to them. The live, laugh, toaster bath.
Live, laugh,
thing.
toaster bath. It's okay. Live, laugh, toaster bath.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, you should get into as many
Too many
conflicts
syllables.
as possible wearing that shirt. Yeah, it is a lot of syllables. Like, I feel like, to be fair, in the heat of the moment, like in a confrontation, I stumble over my words anyway. So get me a bit riled up in a little confrontation, and then imagine how stumbly bumbly I get. So yeah, saying all of that would be very difficult. It's like gross motor skills versus fine motor skills. I do not have fine mouth motor skills. My motor skills are gross. My mouth motor skills.
We don't need to know
That's
more.
not what people said at Gen Con, but anyway.
Duels. Why were you in my mom's bathroom?
You know why.
I don't want to know why.
He's blowing it up. That's what he's doing.
Upper Decker. Now, Duels he said in the chat, for those that can't read, obviously, he said he knows an older gal who has one of those signs in her bathroom. My question is that live, laugh, toaster bath, or live, laugh, whatever the fuck is supposed to come after that? I don't even. Do you guys know what's supposed to come?
Anyway,
yeah,
we moving on. What do you guys think of 40 round mags?
Based. I mean, they're
I've
long
discovered
as fuck if you have to go prone, but
yeah, that's kind of why I said meh. Like 30 is perfect if you go prone, but 40 just then you have to. I can't. I've honestly never shot prone with a 40, but 30 works so perfectly that I can't imagine that extra like inch or so. Just you know what I
Oh, it's
mean?
more than an inch,
Uh,
so to speak.
it's not that bad.
Giggity.
Well, I mean, so if you're
But I have
using a
found 40
gun,
rounders. Go.
if you're using a gun where you want the extra bullets before DOS reload, and you're in that kind of situation, you're not going to go normal prone anyway. You're going to go rollover prone. You're going to be on a side. You're going to be taking cover behind something and firing, or you're going to be standing up or kneeling and using it because you need the extra firepower. If you're doing something off of a bipod where you want more precision and less volume, then you're not going to want something that long because it's too much. But you don't need that much extra before the reload in those cases. My opinion. I'm not an infantryman or anything like that.
I mean, in all reality, the more rounds you can get out of a magazine before you have to spend the 2 seconds it takes to swap it out, which, that extra 10 rounds could get you to the corner, which gets you to cover, which gets you to swapping the mag out. You honestly never know in a firefight. Not that I've ever been in one, but, the one thing you can count on is that you can count on nothing.
And also for certain kits, like I noticed with the TAPS rig, those 30 round magazines sit so low that you put pouches and other stuff on the front, like grabbing those could be a little bit of a pain versus if they were 10 rounds taller, they may come out a little bit quicker and easier.
What if they had these
real
on
quick.
them?
Real quick, am I roboting out to you guys real bad occasionally?
No, you sound fine.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Mike has a couple of times tonight, but everything's been seeming pretty smooth to me.
Yeah, you guys.
I may end up pulling audio from StreamYard. Whatever, doesn't matter. What I found, because we were talking about stuff, me and my buddy, I've come to like 40 rounds as the magazine that starts life in the rifle. Because going prone with one actually is not that bad. It kind of gives you more of a mag pod to work off of.
Yeah.
Now for running in a chest rig, I've found them to be too tall. I run my chest rigs pretty fucking high so that when I do go prone, they're not under my belly. So at that point, if I was running 40 rounders, they'd pop me in the chin if I looked down. But as for like the starting mag in the gun, I've come to kind of like them, especially because we were running some drills that weren't exactly like break contact drills, but higher round count at the start. And having those extra 10 rounds is kind of nice just to start a little more plug time before you have to reload.
I agree.
And then even there, I don't like the D60s for ARs because that starts at, because the one thing you do get with 40 rounds is you get a little more weight in the gun. So then by the time you go from a 30 round mag to a 40, it's not too noticeable, but from a 30 round mag up to a D60, doubling the weight is a little bit more noticeable and more bulky.
Yeah, I like the D60s for certain things. Again, they would be a starting mag only. I wouldn't want to reload from kit with a D60.
Well, at that point, you need like 100 round saw pouches almost.
Good Lord. I mean, you're the mag size we're getting into at this point is just
it was just the way you just suddenly came out of left field going, good Lord. I was like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Like you guys are kind of
did I just blink out of existence again? But
no,
that's why
I wish you would.
On the RPK switched over to primarily using 40 round mags on those because the 75 round drums are too much of a pain in the ass to work with.
And the D60s, I think my headphones might have died, so I may have to switch over in a second. But the D60s are about the same height as a 20 round PMag, maybe a little taller, but like negligibly so. So those would be good as a starting mag. Those would be good if you had an FRT. Those would be good
Well,
if
FRT
you.
is like an automatic rifle. That's where I think the D60 could come into its own, especially if you built, which they don't make the version of the D60 for an AK. They make, drum mags, but
Right.
again,
But
that's where you're going to need like a dedicated chest trigger belt kit to hold these big ball sack magazines now instead
yeah,
of
but for your starting mag, it would be easy. The other thing I could see is if you had a SPR, like a precision 5.56 or, similar short action gun, but you wanted to set up and just be able to lay down precise cover fire without having to reload constantly. And if you had a longer action, like a 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor size action, they have the D50s.
they do.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know
you
this
can,
existed.
yeah. So you can get a 50 round drum for 308, throw that in a DMR, and now you've got more ammo before reloading. Just saying, it's something I've thought about and I have absolutely no experience with, so I'm not an expert, and I'm sure the experts will roast me in the comments, but that's okay.
I mean, that's fine.
What about these? So
Yeah, or Das Boot even.
Okay, so how many rounds? So tell people what you're holding up.
What I'm holding up is a pluff. It's a pluff 5.
Pluff.
It's a
Mike's a
pluff 5.
pluffer.
If I was a bird, I'd be a pluffin. These are Shield Arms +5 extensions for Gen 3 PMags. So instead of a 30, it turns into a 35.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a Gen 340, you turn it into a 45.
So how much does that cost?
$43 on Shield Arms.
I also always.
What
is it at least a 3-pack?
No, it's probably per one. I know.
I think it's per one. The whole thing is machined aluminum. So yeah, they probably.
So there's my immediate issue. My immediate issue with that costs the same as having 2 to 3 more PMags in your back pocket.
Yeah. I mean, you get +5 rounds for one mag, or you get 2 more PMags for $20 a piece.
I know. I'll just name drop him, even though I've never met him or anything like that. Milspec Mojo, for those who have watched any of his content, he has in the past said that he prefers to carry a 20 round PMag as his spare mag because he's a cop, and he prefers to carry that in his duty plate carrier as his reload because it's a little shorter, it's a little smaller, but he gets 25 instead of 20. He throws a Terran Tactical +5 extension on it, but same idea. But that +5, not only does that give him a good enough length where he can get prone, get on barricades, do other stuff and not worry about it, but it also makes it tall enough that he can get it out of his kit and into the gun quickly enough for him. Now, we also know Milspec Mojo, if you know, you know, dude is fast as fuck with everything he does. So quick for him is a big deal.
That's fair.
Just we have all the options. The only thing I worry about with these extensions is if it doesn't come with a custom spring, I worry that the factory spring that is tuned for the magazine that holds less rounds will not properly feed when there are more rounds in, or won't provide me bolt lock because I am an AR whore and I want my gun to tell me when it's empty.
Yeah, my PCC not doing that pisses me off, but I'm also not ready to spend $230 or possibly more on a new lower.
Yeah, valid.
And I just need the stripped lower with the proprietary Glock hold open parts necessary. And there are very few companies that make them.
Duels brought up that they only really make sense for competition. That
What, the 40s or?
I think he means the
extensions.
extensions.
Oh, these doodads? Yeah.
But I will say that's another nice benefit is that it makes them drop free a little better depending on what extensions you get, obviously, because
Yeah,
they
the
weigh
added
more.
weight of this.
Yeah.
I've got a
Didn't you
few.
all watch Magpul Dynamics when you were young children?
No, I don't watch
No.
You
YouTube.
gotta flip the fucking mag out of the mag well, sir.
Oh, I've watched John Wick.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta twist that rifle so fast the magazine flies out of the well and hits the guy next to you.
I mean,
It
why not?
works.
It does work. And not only that, oh geez. Not only that, but when you flip the rifle and flip the mag out, then your mag well is sitting right there in front of you to get that reload, press the button, come back up on target.
Gotta love that workspace reload.
Yeah.
Right here. Right here. Yeah. I actually do love a workspace reload, which is why I have disqualified so many fucking ace courses because it's fucking retarded.
Well, you're also retarded for not starting or turning on the thing to just start you with a full.
No. Some of them require mandatory reloads, and some of them actually require more rounds than the magazine holds, especially before I bought the extended magazines.
Not what I meant. I meant the you would do better at the beginning if you had the thing that fills your mag before the stage start.
Well, see, I reload.
Ready mag.
Fuck. My ace
mag.
gun's over there. I shoot the stage, and then I eject the mag, smack the bottom to reload in ace, and then I hit A to finish the stage. I end the stage on a full mag.
So Dooley's talking about the Ready Mag when we talked about Magpul Dynamics, which is just the lamer version of going back to the 80s and jungle taping your mags.
Oh, I wish I could grab one right now. I have a couple of the Magpul PMag couplers. I have one set up with 230s and I have one set up with 240s. And I haven't done it lately because I've added some more weight to my rifle. But for the longest time, my bedside AR had the two coupled 30s in it, so that if somebody breaks in and I'm naked or in my underwear or whatever, I've still got 60 rounds.
Scenario.
Right? I've got 60 rounds on gun.
Because I want to be telling that interview. So there I was, butt ass naked. Dude barged in. I grabbed my AR, just lit him up. I said, "You stop right there." He didn't stop right there.
I mean, come on, son. How you gonna tell me that I was in the wrong for lighting some motherfucker up when I'm fucking naked? I sure as shit didn't start that fight. He started that fight.
I like how your accent.
And you know what?
As soon as you started talking about that,
what sucks for him? Sucks for him most is the last thing he saw before he died
was my balls on his face.
Because I was teabagging, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Nah.
So
getting to actually teabag your stateside.
We all have dreams.
Mm-hmm. So that's nasty.
But it's funny though.
Some of us just got a little bit better sense of humor than you.
Some of us grew up with Counter-Strike Source and understand what teabagging means.
I know what teabagging means, but I'm not putting my balls anywhere near any man's mouth. That's just gay.
Well, I mean, if he's dead, it doesn't matter.
No,
That
I
is
think
a
if
that
you
is
It's,
necrophilia
no,
it's not. It's
idiot.
not putting. It's not putting them in their mouth. It's the act of like dropping your sack onto their dead corpse.
if
So,
you
if
justifiably
you
killed them, that's not
Yeah,
gay. That's called
right.
dominance.
Right. And that's why it came about, is because it's a dominance thing. So if you go around and you smack your satchel on his forehead because you just smoked the shit out of him. Now, if his head's canoed open, that's another thing. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely the most utter act of disrespect you could do to somebody you just murked, to whip your sack out and rub it all over their face or smack them a couple times with it.
Dr.
It
Scary
worked.
Guy said the thing. 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
Dude, I don't even understand that.
I don't either, but I know it's a thing.
No,
The
it's,
only thing I know is I forbid my kid from saying it.
Good.
no, it's not a real thing.
Like
Anything these teenagers come up with is not real.
What
That's
we talk
factual.
about is not a real thing.
That's also factual.
No, not factual. I'm pretty sure the firearm I am holding is made out of steel and it's fairly solid.
You think that.
If I whack
Hey,
my head on it, it will hurt.
Here's a conundrum for you. If I were to look at that gun through your eyes, do you think it would still be black, or do you think it would be blue or green as far as my brain perceives it?
Depends on if you're some kind of genetically mutated colorblind freak or not.
No, it depends on the fact that I can't understand what your brain perceives or what Mike's brain perceives, and you guys can't understand the same thing. So to me, black could look like what pink looks like to you through your eyes and in your brain.
I mean, it could, but we all know that
So you see
unless
that big,
you're a
you see that big
weird
wall
mutated,
behind you?
yeah, like those are all
Can you
we
go-
all see the same colors.
Can you go stand against that big wall behind you real quick? Because I just need to take a picture of you.
Sure. Give
Smile
me
for the
give me
camera.
1 second.
Wait for flash.
Bang. All right, he's dead now.
I have the killing stick.
Promptly defenestrate
Bitch.
thyself, sir.
What is that? That was
That's the Makarov with the clearly.
the way you held it was awkward. And now
Well,
I see.
I was holding it like one holds a pistol
No,
with
Yeah.
my hand.
Upside down, slightly canted over where
Yeah.
his elbow doesn't actually bend that way.
like it was
It's only
like it was a
intended
rod.
for 1 to 3 inches. It doesn't
Like,
matter
I
what orientation you hold it in. That's just helping the ejection.
I was like, what radioactive rod are you holding? Oh,
Oh,
it's the
shit.
Makarov.
Speaking of ejection, you know what's really fun to do on the range here?
I thought
as
you
we
were going to
start
say,
wrap up.
speaking of radioactive rod, but go ahead.
I mean, speaking of radioactive rods, I do want to go find some uranium.
God damn it.
But what is actually very fun, it turns out, and I don't know why I'd never done this before, there is a certain angle that if you are gangster shooting your AK, it will spit the brass straight up in the air, and there's a good 1.5 second delay before it comes back down and starts hitting you in the head. We did that quite a bit.
I love
the
that
first
you
time
found
was-
this out.
The first time was on accident. After that, it was starting to get funny. Because it does take a good second for him to start coming back down.
I like that.
But
Duh. Is probably time, comrades.
it is, but we're going
No.
to close out on another interesting fact. Because you talked about black and blue, and then we were talking about jungle taping mags. So if you look at jungle tape mags from anywhere in the Soviet Union, so Afghanistan all the way up into Chechnya, it's always blue tape. And the rumor I heard that I can't seem to find any confirmation of, but I'd like to think it is true, is because there were only 2 colors of tape in the Soviet Union, black and blue, and black was not available ever.
Well, if that's the case, then why are the Russians taping red to their arms and the Ukrainians are taping blue to their arms?
Well, because it's not the Soviet Union in 1980 anymore.
I mean,
the
it's
world's
the same
deadliest
thing.
game of
They
laser
can
tag.
import. They can import
Okay.
tape from China now.
They haven't advanced since the 1980s, first of all. Second of all, it's the same thing. Soviet Union, Russia, Ukraine, blah, blah. It's the same fucking thing.
Not really.
Actually, I actually have to disagree. Russia is much worse, and has far less territory.
I mean, if they'd invaded, if they had tried
Not
to
by
start
their
a
own
fight,
will.
if they had tried to
That's
start
one.
if they tried to start a fight in say 1972, they wouldn't have won, but they would have at least caused quite, I mean, assuming it stayed conventional, they would have caused quite the scramble in Europe. Because this is still a point where the T-72 is coming online, the T-64 is still probably could smack around a patent a little bit. But then they waited too long, and the Abrams came around, and then the Soviet Union collapsed.
Counter
And the
argument
A-10 came out. The
Yeah,
A-10 plus the Abrams, Russia doesn't stand a chance.
but also counter argument. In 2022, they were still sending troops onto the front lines with iron sight equipped Mosins as their primary fighting gun.
So the guys that, oh god, I don't have time for this. The guys that those pictures were, it's actually an interesting bit of turnaround about how you don't trust foreign powers that try and fucking prop you up and tell you they're going to give you your independence. The most of those pictures came out of that Donetsk Republic, the ones that one of the areas that broke away from Ukraine, and then the Russians flooded in with their little green men back in 2014 through 22. A lot of those pictures were coming out from those guys, who then the Russians just kind of fucking left out to dry. But the point being, still, it's 1972. Nobody has optics.
But
Playing field was a little bit more even. Once we hit the 80s, the playing field went.
Yes, but your average American infantryman at the time would have had an M16A2 with detachable magazines and 3-round burst.
And your average Red Army soldier had a AKM.
And that same average
Detachable
infantry
magazine.
soldier took 50,000 rounds to kill a Vietnamese soldier during the same time period in Vietnam because
Yes, but that's because we had we had to kill the whole ass jungle back then because the jungle started talking and we needed to kill the whole jungle. That's different. A2 is hot, Dr. Scary Guy. I fucking agree. I need one in my life.
All right, you're fair. That's
Look,
a fair point.
I'm not saying I want World War III, but ideally it would have happened in 1983. If you've never read the book Red Storm Rising, that's a great Tom Clancy book. Might be my favorite Tom Clancy book.
I read
the Tom Clancy book that doesn't involve any of his reoccurring characters. Jack Ryan is a reoccurring character, annoys the crap out of me. Red Storm Rising is just like, it's separate from all the other little like universes that he built. It's just a standalone. It does have an annoying part with a character in Iceland, but
we didn't even get to talk about my bullshit I'm in sweatpants in my house all day rig.
Yeah, that's pretty gay, dude.
Oh,
we
dude,
can talk about that next week.
Fucking, I was doing that so we could talk about it next week. It's fucking awful. It's like dog shit.
It's like a fanny pack from hell.
I've had this since before custom Kydex holsters were a thing.
Custom Kydex have been a thing for
since before they caught on. It's like, oh, I've got a optic on my pistol. Oh, what? Do you have a $5,000 race gun? Like that.
My goodness.
Fair.
You animal.
You are an animal.
Anyway, ending with his strange little denim nutsack.
Dude, that was awful. I wish I hadn't seen that.
Oh, you'll see more of it.
Okay. I'm going to go gouge my eyes out tonight.
Manchester.
Oh, goodness. Well, if you're out there, we demand feedback. Leave us a review or face the gulag in the Makarov flash. Get out there.
Straight to gulag with you.
Go train. Get some medical training. Go shoot on the range. If you can't get to an open range to do fun movement drills, go fucking shoot anyway. Go out in the field, train, use some gear, make a fun little survival kit out of a dip can using dope bags.
Good Lord.
I brought it back around to the baggies. We're good.
Yeah,
To
you did.
I'm really proud of these things. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool, dude.
go. They're cool. I'm interested to play around with one and definitely not commit arson.
Definitely not. There will
Definitely
be
not.
no arson.
No, there will not. Well, they can't be arson because he didn't put any gasoline in there. I'm
That's
not bringing my own.
not the requirement for arson.
It's not, but it makes it easier. But we have this one simple trick to make burning things down easier. Before we get in trouble, good night.
Scheisse.
Super